thing called tuna sashimi. 3, 2, 1.
Well guys, Junior back again. So this week we got a review of Asura the Striker. Asura the Striker is pretty much a homage to the original Space Harrier arcade game. So this game is made by a company called Leftover. I've looked them up and I can't find anything about them, and this seems to be their first game. I believe this is Japanese developed as well. So we'll skip the little intro thing and I'll get into the options. You do get a little bit of a story, and that's pretty much it. What you're seeing by here. So I suppose these games, you don't really need a good story. It's a shoot 'em up. It does have some nice artwork. Asura herself looks quite cool in that artwork. I quite like it. And there's quite a nice art piece at the end as well when you actually finish it. So we'll get into the options. The options are pretty bare, to be honest. You just basically got your volumes, you got your reverse up and down, your neutral behaviour. Basically on the original Space Harrier arcade game, because it was analog, you could go to the side of the screen, and then when you let go, it would return to the middle. You can do the same on here, but literally you want to turn that off. You just want to put it in stay. So wherever you put her, she stays. Reason is the controls, they do seem, I thought it was analog at first, but it's not actually analog. The controls are digital, so you can use them on your analog stick, but it's in digital, which also means it plays fantastic on an arcade stick or a joypad. So basically I've been playing on an arcade stick and really enjoying it. So yeah, you want to put on the stay option. Resolution, there's not much in the way of resolution. You can go anything from 720p up to 1440p. There is no 4K option, but this game looks fantastic in pretty much any resolution you put it in. It looks really good. 1440p looks lovely on a 4K screen. So you got your display modes, your full, you know, your windowed bordered, and your windowed option. VSync, well, this gets interesting. If you've got a screen that does 120 Hz, if you put the VSync on, it forces the game to 120 Hz, and then the game runs twice as fast than it should do. So if you're playing on a 120 Hz screen or higher, you need to turn the VSync off, and then it will basically force the game to 60 Hz. This 60 Hz is perfectly fine. This game is really smooth and incredibly well made. It's made on the Unity engine, which is quite surprising. It's a very well made game indeed. So you got your instructions, which shows you basically how the instructions work, how your button setups are. The one thing I will say, it doesn't have a button config. I really wish it did. In fact, I've asked the developer, can I get a button config? Because I'm playing on an arcade stick and it's a little bit awkward. I know there's only 3 buttons. You basically shoot, you got a hold down charge shot, and you got a slow time sort of button. But they're set up to be used on a joypad. So on an arcade stick, I've got my fingers stretched all over the place to use it. It works, but a button config would be fantastic. So that's basically your options. So you've got a ranking modes as well. So basically, you see on the left now, that's the level setouts. It's basically like Darius or Night Striker, and to be honest, this game does seem like a little bit of a cross between Night Striker and Space Harrier. So I think the developer of this probably like both games, like myself. So I've completed it on that route, as you can see. And then once you go through, it tells you what routes you've completed it on. I've tried various other routes, but I haven't managed to finish it on the other routes yet. Each route does have different bosses, but some of the bosses are quite similar, but they look different. But I haven't actually got to all the levels yet. So it did take me a little while to get a 1cc through this. Once you work your way through to V, and you complete the V level, there is a secret Omega boss at the end. So you need to complete that boss in a certain time limit, or basically he runs off. I haven't managed to complete him yet. I need to figure out the best way to do it. I think it's something to do with the charge. So your language options are pretty much your language options here. So we're going to stick with English because that's all I understand. So let's start this up. You've got practice mode where you can pick any level you've done, which is quite handy actually. You've got a new game easy and new game normal. We're going to go normal. So when you start off, you get this nice little sort of a track screen with her jumping off. First thing you're going to notice about this game is how nice it actually looks. This game it's very pretty. So basically where I've put stay, she'll stay in anywhere I actually put her. So you've got basically fire like in Space Harrier. Very similar way of firing actually as well. And you've got the enemies. When you get enemies coming in like this, if you manage to shoot all the enemies, as my PC slowed down, if you manage to shoot all the enemies in one go, you get a bonus. Every time you manage to shoot a group of enemies, that bonus gets higher and higher and higher. You do get extends in this. The extends are actually a shield. So when you start off this game, you don't get lives as such, you get shields instead. And depending, shields go down at the end of the level. Once you complete it, you get 1 shield back. Or if you manage to score enough points for an extra life, you get an extra shield. So as you notice, I slow time, which I'll do by here. In the slow time mode, it allows you a lot more time to shoot groups of enemies, and it allows you extra time to dodge things coming at you as well. There's also one other technique in this game. Obviously you can shoot the floor. Is the charge mode. Only works on enemies that get close to you, but you can get extra points off the enemies for doing it. So what I'm going to do, you'll see me charge by here to kill this enemy. Slows time down, allows you to kill things. So controls wise, that's pretty much how this game works, and that's pretty much how the multiplier works in this game. So the idea is you shoot an entire group of enemies, you get a multiplier for doing it. The more enemies you shoot like that, the bigger the multiplier. The other multiplier you got is actually on the bosses. If you charge shot the bosses, which can only be done when the bosses are really close to you, you get a multiplier off the bosses as well, which bumps your multiplier up, as you'll see in a minute. So if I go in and charge, and each time I hit a boss like this, my multiplier charge will go up. So start off with 1,000, for the next one is 1,200 you get, then 1,400, 1,600, 800 and so on. So that's pretty much how the, as you'll see, 1,200, how the scoring works in this game. So if you can hit the bosses instead of firing at them with the charge, you'll get more points. So it's quite a nice simple system and not overly complicated. So I will say it does get more complicated on later bosses to be able to hit them with that charge. The bosses as well, you will need to learn their patterns and ways of defeating them. It's not quite as easy as just shooting them because they will hit you. A lot of them will jump out of the screen at you. Always quite like doing the charge on this boss. It's one dead boss. So that is the first level. The levels do get quite varied as well in backgrounds and stuff. So you may have noticed at the bottom there was a pacifist option. In this game, if you complete a level without hitting anything, you get extra points for like running on the floor and dodging. Plus you get extra points for not firing a bullet, and you get 10,000 points per level as a pacifist bonus. So I'm assuming you can just go through the entire game. I've managed to do 3 or 4 levels pacifist, but it gets tricky because you have to dodge every attack. That pacifist mode as well sort of comes from Night Striker, because that's got a pacifist mode as well. So what I'm going to try and do is hit all these groups of enemies to try and get my multiplier up. And there's my first extend, which gives me an extra shield. You will need those extra shields as well. If you can get them, you want to try and keep them. This is where the slowdown comes incredibly handy for getting the groups of enemies and upping your bonus. And by the way, your slowdown does, like if I hold it and let go, it will just recharge on its own. So you can use it here to get that bonus. So you can see my points bonus now is rising for every one of those groups of enemies I managed to kill. See, this does have some really big bosses and some very pretty looking levels. The screen space reflections on this are pretty amazing as well. So you can see all my bullets in the bottom in the water as I'm firing. You can see enemies flying over. It's really cool. It's not ray tracing, but it looks funky. I say the graphics are lovely in this game. I don't think I can fault it with anything. It's really well made and put together. Also, the soundtrack in this game is really cool as well. It does have a very nice soundtrack. So you hit this boss and then you've got to move out the way of it. I left that too long then. You don't have to do it like this, you can just shoot them if you want, but if you want that extra sweet bonus, this is what you've got to do. You see a pacifist bonus at the bottom. An alpha ranking, that's quite nice. So you can basically choose which level you want to go to. So we'll go to the valley. So there is, gameplay wise, there's a lot to come back to this game to play. There's a lot of different levels. And I don't know whether it's got multiple endings yet, because I mean, you can continue on this and blow through it if you want, but I've been trying to do it on 1 credit. Find that a little bit more rewarding, if you know what I mean, but each to their own at the end of the day. Not all groups of enemies will give you that extra bonus. Oops, got hit by a bullet. There is bonus levels in this game as well. You've got to run through Torii gates, and depending on what level you're on, you get different types of bonuses. You've got no jumping on a dragon and flying around like you have in Space Harrier. Here we go. So yeah, I think this game is very nicely made, very nicely put together. Some lovely music. There is a soundtrack option. There's £3 odd if you want to buy the soundtrack. These enemies as well, I found, took me a while to figure it out. You want to kill the middle one first, and then go for the outside ones and use the slow time. The middle one seems to always open first. And run across the ground. So this is the first boss where it starts to get tricky. He's a dragon boss. So you want to basically get out of the way of him, because he'll come in straight with a kick. And then you want to get in front of him and then dodge. And then he comes in for the punch. And then he's going for a big attack now. So you can pause time, stay in front of him, and then move out of the way of this stuff. Then he comes in for the punch. And then he flies off. So you've got to listen to the sound, and then when you stop, he stops, you hear the noise of him flying, you've got to move out of the way. Trying to punch you in, so here we go, dodge out of the way. Here we go, dodge. There's ways of hitting these things when you're close to them as well. Dead. See, this game is fast and furious the way it plays. It's how a Space Harrier game should be. There's no lock on or anything. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to show you any further, guys. because obviously I want to keep you to investigate the levels yourself. So, what do I think of this game? I was waiting for it to come out. Played the demo and really liked it. Since I started playing this, I really like this game. I think this game is really good. It's pretty much the modern Space Harrier game that I wanted. It's done in the same thing. It is basically a fast-paced shooter. Nothing too complicated, but you do have the charge that acts and the slow down time, which adds a little bit of element of strategy to the game as well. And with the scoring system as well, where you've got to kill groups of enemies to get that scoring up. So obviously, the higher you go up, the more extends, which extends means more points on your shield. And later on, there will be lots of enemies on screen, and you'll need that shield. Um, I think the graphics are lovely on you. The demo looked lovely, and they've they've done a fantastic job with the graphics on you, and it's got a very nice soundtrack as well. The soundtrack does get repeated over the levels. Like there's not like I don't know 20, 30 odd different music tracks. So, but that's fine. You know, I mean, that's fine. It does have some levels which are homages to the original Space Area. Like there's a level where you're going through dodging poles, but then you got all things on the bottom, then they appear on the top, just like they do in a couple of levels on Space Area. So there's this guy who made this. He must have liked Space Area, and I think he must have liked Night Striker as well. By the way, guys, if you ain't tried Night Striker, give it a try. It's pretty much better than Space Area. I really love Night Striker. So yeah, so this is a game that's set out very similar to both of them. Sound effects and everything work. The only downside to this is the fact there's no button config. There's no way of making the graphics lowering the quality of the graphics or higher the quality of the graphics. It's pretty much just set as it is. I've tried it. The mini PC I'm playing on is basically like a 1060 type sort of graphics card and an i7 processor, quite a few years old now, and 32 gig of RAM. The demo didn't run on you. It runs in slow motion. The demo does, but the actual finished game actually runs on you, which is pretty good. If you've got a Steam Deck, guys, this game doesn't work properly on the Steam Deck. It does run and it does look very nice, but you'll only get roughly about 40, just over 40 frames a second out of it. And because the game doesn't skip frames, you'll run in slow motion. So whether that'll get addressed for the Steam Deck, I don't know. Which is a bit of a shame. Even if you do lower the resolutions to 720p, it makes no difference. It still runs at just over 40 frames a second. So yeah, so you can play it, but you're pretty much playing it in slow motion if you want to play it on the Steam Deck. And as far as I know, there's no way of changing that. So you are going to need a half decent PC to play it, but I don't think you need like a pretty top end PC to play this game because it works on the PC I got on the cab here. So overall, would I recommend this game? I definitely recommend this game. This is going on my list of one of the best shoot 'em ups this year. Definitely. I haven't made that list yet, and I'm not sure exactly what's going on here, but this is definitely going to be on there. This is a very good game indeed, and for the price it goes for, which I believe is like 14.99 or 13.99 on Steam, I can't see the proper price for it now because I bought it on offer, and it doesn't show you the price once you bought it, so I'm not quite sure exactly what it's going for. But it's I know it's going for $15.99 in America, so it's probably like same as pounds over here, I expect. But at that price and the sheer amount of sort of game you've got here, and the fact that you will come back to it because you've got the multiple levels, you've got I don't know whether there is multiple endings. I'll find that out. Like I said, you can continue through it as well. So I'm trying not to do that. I'm basically trying to do a 1cc all the way through it. So there may be multiple endings, I'm not sure, but then you've got that secret boss at the end you've got to defeat. I'm pretty sure when I defeated it, he run off, and I probably got a bad ending. So you've only got so much time to defeat him, but I think it's something to do with hitting him with a charge shot when he puts these like shields around him. So I haven't quite worked that out yet, but when I get to him again, I will. I'll try and figure that out. So I may even use the practice mode and try and figure that out. So yes, highly recommended game, guys, and hopefully that'll come to consoles one day. But unfortunately, at the moment, it's Steam only. And with a bit of luck, the developer will see my question and add a button config, because that would be very, very nice indeed. So hopefully you enjoyed the review, guys, and I'll catch you next time or something. We will see. So take it easy. Ta-da.